So last night, very interesting. Baker Mayfield came out with a very heartfelt letter to the city of Cleveland. He said, there's no secret meaning in this. You changed my life. My wife and I, Emily, we love you. We're all in. Whatever happens, I want you to know you mean everything to us. So why would he do that? There is a lot of gamesmanship in what is happening in Cleveland, and let me take you behind the rope. So first of all, stories only leak when people want them leaked. I've had a million broadcasting secrets in my life. If I don't want them out, they don't get out. I've known things this company's doing down the road, down the tarmac. If they don't want them out, they don't get out. You can have a million newspaper people. Stuff gets out when somebody wants it out. The Cleveland front office wants this out. We want to get out of the Baker business. There's multiple stories today. Cleveland.com, Mary Kay Cabot. If they don't get Deshaun Watson, they're going to go look for somebody else. That stuff is out because they want it out. Meeting Deshaun Watson, it's out because they want it out. Now, why would that be? Because GM Andrew Berry knows number 6 Baker Mayfield is viewed as a savior in that city. And though he's not as popular today as he was a year ago, you can't just cut him. He's got a lot of fans there. The standards in Cleveland are pretty low. You get him to the playoffs, you're there Tom Brady. You're there Peyton Manning. You're there Russell Wilson. Number 6 still has some media and many fans that have his back. So they can't just cut him. They know he's popular, right? Polarizing, popular. So they're hoping that stuff gets out there. It's a message to Baker and his agent, we're out of the Baker business. Maybe he gets pissed, demands a trade, calls his agent, get me out of here. But Baker Mayfield, in the smartest move he has ever made in his career, says, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm emotional. I can be snarky. I'm not going to do that. Baker Mayfield last night releases a very heartfelt, was it Instagram, Twitter, wherever it was? Very heartfelt. I love Cleveland. My wife and I feel gratitude for the city. I've given you everything I have. Now, why would he do that? It's very, very smart. Why would he do that? Well, number one, if he stays and they can't get Deshaun Watson or a Derek Carr, he's going to get the loudest cheer of his life because it looks like they're toying with him. Instead of battling back at the front office, he's like, I've given you everything I have. I'm a beaten down dog. I gave you my life. How the hell do you not root for him? Right now he's got a severed relationship with the Cleveland media, a severed relationship with the fans. He just poured his heart out. Come on. He's always been a little small, had to walk on twice. How the hell can you not root for him? So if he stays, and a lot of people, by the way, are not into this Deshaun Watson stuff because of his legal stuff. So there are a lot of people pushing back on Deshaun Watson, although, if he's there and they're winning games, they'll cheer. So Baker is basically saying, you win, I love you. If you don't love me, I love you. I mean, come on. The second thing, if he doesn't stay, it's a great message to the league and the other teams. I'm all in. I'll sacrifice my life. I'm all in, 100%. I am committed. It hasn't been easy. I've made mistakes, but my wife and I and our family, you changed our life. We're forever indebted. We love you. I'm the Colts Chris Ballard. I'm like, he's grown up. He's matured right in front of our eyes. The smartest thing Baker's ever done. A lot of you guys out there, you got your big egos and the chip on your shoulders. When you're vulnerable is when you have your power. When you say, I gave you everything. That's when you get the loudest cheer. This is the single smartest thing Baker Mayfield has ever done. If they don't land Watson, he returns. Loudest cheer of his career will be when he runs onto the field in the opener. And if he doesn't, he has sent a message to the league. I'm a good guy. I'm all in. I'm totally committed. You get me. You'll get every ounce of my talent. Every ounce, every shred of my emotional and physical talent. I'll give you all of it. I'll make myself vulnerable. I'll put it out there. I am all in. It hasn't been easy. And you know what GMs are going to say? Well, hell, it's Cleveland. He's had 4 coaches. I mean, we're going to give him a lot more functional environment than that. Chris Ballard's probably saying this morning, we make the playoffs. That's Cleveland. I mean, he got Cleveland to the playoffs. He's turned the corner. Smartest thing he's done. All you guys out there flexing, big chest out. When you're vulnerable is when you're beloved. Somebody told me years ago on TV, when you yell, people back off. When you whisper, the consumer comes in. Basically, Baker's whispering. I love you. I gave you everything, and everybody's leaning in. Oh, man, I love you, man. That's in gamesmanship going on all over here. The GM wants out of the Baker business. Baker didn't fall for it. He didn't get snarky. He didn't get cocky. He didn't get juvenile. He went the other way. It's real gamesmanship. I'm here for you if you need me. And if you don't, all you other teams in a position of scarcity in the world, I'm here for you. I think he ends up with the Colts. I do. I think this morning he ends up with the Colts. Now, it's a guess. I have no inside source. But that's how you play the game. It's not taking big swings. Sometimes just wave the white flag. I gave you everything I got. I love it. I was just like, wow, that's smart. That's smart. So, big story today. Cleveland's put it out there looking for another quarterback moving off Baker Mayfield. That doesn't mean they'll be able to move off Baker Mayfield. They're trying to move off Baker, and it's out there for the world to see. We tend to think in these trade situations that there's winners and losers. But, the downside to winning a trade is, you can burn people in the league. It's a very small industry. You'd like the other team to get value as well. I think 3 different people could win in a Baker Mayfield trade, and it's very likely if Deshaun Watson chooses the Browns. I wouldn't make him a favorite, but there are reports they're offering the most to Houston. So, number one, Deshaun Watson would win. He gets the best offensive line of his career. I mean, the guy's been running for his life for several years. So Deshaun Watson goes to Cleveland. He gets a legitimate offensive line. And he gets, let's be honest, there's some stability now in the front office. Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski. It's a fresh start in a city. He's been in Houston. He's got legal issues. It's a fresh start in a city that is desperate for wins. So it's a win for Deshaun Watson. It's also, let's talk about Cleveland. It's a win for Cleveland. He's better than Baker. He's a wildly dynamic athlete and quarterback. He doesn't throw the best ball. He doesn't throw a Patrick Mahomes ball or a Justin Herbert ball, but he's an athlete. He was great at Clemson. He got Houston multiple times to the playoffs, not with a very good supporting cast in many instances. And Cleveland will get a top 10 quarterback. Hard to win playoff games year after year after year if you don't have a top 10 quarterback. The third winner is Baker. I said this during the season. The media's turned on him. Half the fans have turned on him. Probably best to start over. I do believe he's a franchise quarterback when healthy. I think he's got to grow up. But the Colts would be perfect. You get a head coach that's been a quarterback in the NFL. He played your position. You get a stable front office. You get an impulsive owner, but Cleveland's got an impulsive owner. The Colts have one. Welcome to the NFL. Most billionaires are. Also, you'd follow Carson Wentz. You're not following Howard Stern on radio. You're not following Brady in New England. Carson Wentz is, a lot of people in Indianapolis, I think they're wrong. Happy to see him go. You're not following a legend. You'd go to the Colts, and that's people are saying, I'm looking at what's on the market right now. I'd take Baker Mayfield over Gardner Minshew. You tell me what's on the market. Jimmy Garoppolo, I like Jimmy a little bit more than Baker, but he's not going to be able to throw a football for 3.5 months. I'd rather get my guy in to camp and learn the offense. And it's also for Baker, it's an easier division. I mean, you look right now, the Steelers this morning are better than last year. Baltimore's not going to fall apart. Cincinnati just got to a Super Bowl. That division's hard. Cleveland's got a good roster. That division this morning, considering how bad now Seattle is, the best division in football, there's an argument to be made after the AFC West, which is Kansas City, Denver now, Chargers, Raiders. Second best division is the AFC North. Cincinnati got to a Super Bowl. I love what Pittsburgh has done with not only Trubisky, but their offensive line. Baltimore's really good. I think Baltimore's going to be a playoff team next year. They weren't this past year. And Cleveland's roster remains top 10. No longer top 3, but it's top 10. So I think Baker could win with a fresh start. Deshaun finally gets a legitimate grown-up offensive line for the first time in his career in the NFL. He's been running for his life, and Cleveland wins. He is better than Baker. So not everybody, it doesn't always have to be winner and loser in a trade. You can have multiple parties win. I think the city and both quarterbacks win here.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.